Major sports teams are now big business, with 15 of the 20 Premier League clubs currently owned by billionaires, numbers which are reflected in the major baseball, basketball, and American football teams in the US. There aren't many people who reach billionaire status through being entertainers, sports people, or celebrities, but that hasn't stopped some from getting involved in sports teams. In this video, I'm just focusing on association football teams, and when I say celebrities, I do just mean entertainers, sports people, and people of that ilk. One could argue that someone like Roman Abramovich has now become sufficiently high profile enough to be considered a celebrity, but obviously the source of his wealth and his path to owning Chelsea was not through the entertainment industry. What's more, the individuals in this seven don't have to own 100% of the club involved, or even a majority shareholding, they just have to have ownership of some kind. Here are 7 celebrities who own football clubs. Steve Nash, Vancouver Whitecaps and Real Mallorca. We start this 7 with an NBA legend who always had a passion for football. Steve Nash was born in South Africa to a Welsh mother and an English father, but the family moved to Canada when Steve was only 18 months of age. Steve's father John played professional football and his brother Martin followed in his footsteps, going on to win 38 caps for Canada. Steve was a keen footballer himself, but rather shrewdly chose basketball as his profession. In a sensational 19-year career, Nash was twice named as the NBA's MVP and became an NBA All-Star 8 times. Throughout that time though, Nash's love of football never diminished. Since retiring in 2015, Nash has said he watches more football than basketball, and despite not having played basketball at all since then, he plays football semi-regularly. During almost 2 decades as a professional basketball player with the Phoenix Suns, the Dallas Mavericks and the LA Lakers, Nash reportedly accumulated a net worth of close to $100 million. A lifelong Tottenham fan who also took an interest in the fortunes of Barcelona and Corinthians, Nash has previously said he would love to own Tottenham one day. Right now, he is one of 4 co-owners of his brother's former club Vancouver Whitecaps, and in 2016, he purchased a $21 million stake in Real Mallorca, along with Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver. Gerard Pique, FC Andorra. Staying in Spain, Gerard Pique is the only active sports person in this 7. Aged 33, Pique is still very much a key man at FC Barcelona, where he serves as third-choice captain. Pique was born in Barcelona but joined Manchester United in 2004, spending 4 years under Alex Ferguson that ended with the Champions League title. He rejoined Barca in 2008 and has since won 28 trophies in 11.5 seasons, in what has been one of the most phenomenally successful eras enjoyed by any club in the entire history of the sport. Pique has been richly rewarded for his talents as one of the finest centre-backs of his generation, with some putting his reported net worth in the region of $40 million. His wife is said to be considerably wealthier too, meaning the pair could live quite comfortably off their sports and music businesses, but Pique appears to have a natural entrepreneurial spirit. In 2017, Pique became the founder and CEO of Cosmos Holdings. With a focus on the sports and media industries, Cosmos has already revamped the Davis Cup and bought Spanish football team FC Andorra. The team caused a bit of controversy shortly after Pique's arrival by paying almost €500,000 to go up a division, and they now compete in the same league as Barcelona's B team. Drew Carey, Seattle Sounders. Drew Carey is a celebrity that I suspect some of you will be aware of, certainly most of our US viewers, but maybe 1 or 2 of you from the UK will know. A former US Army Marine serviceman, Carey left the military to focus on becoming a stand-up comic. He enjoyed success as a comedian and then stardom when he was handed his own sitcom called The Drew Carey Show in the mid-1990s. From 1998 to 2007, Carey hosted the popular improv show Whose Line Is It Anyway? And since 2007, he has hosted the game show The Price Is Right. Following a quarter of a century in the limelight, Carey is said to have amassed a fortune somewhere in the region of $165 million, and he's put a small portion of that wealth into the world of sport. A passionate sports fan, Carey is known to follow the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL closely, but perhaps no sport as closely as association football. He attended the 2006 and 2010 World Cups, has worked as a photographer at USMNT games, and supports both Barcelona and Rangers. The former LA Galaxy season ticket holder is now a minority shareholder in fellow MLS side Seattle Sounders. Businessman Adrian Hanover is the Sounders' majority shareholder, whilst Carey was among the first of 13 other significant investors in the club. Will Ferrell, Magic Johnson, and Tony Robbins. LAFC. One football team has more celebrity owners than most, and that team is Los Angeles FC. One of the newest franchises in the MLS, LAFC played their first MLS game in March 2018. They enjoyed the best debut campaign of an expansion side in MLS history, finishing 3rd in the Western Conference. LAFC has had a number of investors and therefore shareholders in the club since being awarded an expansion franchise in 2014. They include the likes of YouTube co-founder Chad Hurley and Cardiff City owner Vincent Tan. I tried to limit this inclusion to just 3 famous faces though, and those 3 are actor Will Ferrell, NBA legend Magic Johnson, and author and motivational speaker Tony Robbins. Ferrell is said to be one of the best paid actors in Hollywood with a conservatively estimated net worth of $120 million. He fell in love with football as an 8-year-old, with his wife and children also being passionate about the sport. Magic Johnson is even wealthier and said in 2016 that he feels as though the MLS is in a similar place now to the NBA when he first came into basketball. Tony Robbins is what is apparently officially termed as a life coach, and I recently watched some of his motivational speaking in a Netflix documentary. As far as I'm aware though, he doesn't take any team talks at the Bank of California Stadium, which seems a waste. David Beckham. Inter Miami and Salford City. There's no way I could leave David Beckham out of this 7, given that he owns a significant stake in not 1 but 2 football clubs. One of the most high-profile people, never mind footballers, in the world at one stage, Beckham reached a level of global celebrity never previously seen in the sport. That opened up multiple revenue streams for the former Manchester United and Real Madrid star, and he's now estimated to be worth close to $500 million. In 2007, Beckham made a surprise move to LA Galaxy, signing a contract worth $6.5 million a year. The MLS broke many precedents to bring Beckham to America, including writing a clause into his contract, giving him the future option of founding his own franchise for a fee of $25 million. Given that the fee to become an MLS expansion side is now at $200 million, soon to become $325 million, it would be fair to say Beck's got a decent deal. His team, Inter Miami, will enter the MLS Eastern Conference in the 2020 season. The entire class of 92 could also have made this 7, but instead I'll just mention them whilst talking about Beckham's other team, Salford City. 12 months ago, Beckham purchased a 10% stake in the League 2 side from businessman Peter Lim, who now owns 40% of the club, whilst a group of ex-Manchester United players own a combined total of 60%. LeBron James. Liverpool FC. It is clear to see that deep down many NBA players secretly wish they'd been footballers, and LeBron James is among the biggest football fanatics in basketball. Considered to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time, James is a 4-time NBA MVP and 3-time NBA champion. During his time with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and now the LA Lakers, James has amassed the most playoff points in NBA history, the 3rd most NBA points in general, and ranks 8th in the all-time assist charts. In 2011, Fenway Sports Group became the sole global marketer of his rights. Around a year after, they bought Liverpool FC. As part of the deal, they gave James a minority 2% stake in the Premier League club for a fee of $6.5 million. That's pennies for a man who Forbes rank as the 4th best paid athlete of the 2010s, with an estimated net worth of close to $500 million and an annual salary of $100 million. Yet the investment has already paid dividends. The increase in wealth in the Premier League and Liverpool's huge rise in fortune since 2011 means his 2% share in the club, which cost him $6.5 million, is now valued at around $30 million. DELIA Smith. Norwich City. The ultimate celebrity owner of a football club, we take a departure from a 7 populated mostly by former and current athletes and come instead to a famous chef. Hugely popular in Britain, where she had the 5th best-selling book of the 1990s, Smith began working as a chef at the age of 21. She later worked as a columnist and cookery writer before getting her big break on TV. She became a huge hit on the screens and a best-selling author, and now teaches online cookery classes, having retired from TV work in 2013. Smith's first deputy editor at the Daily Mirror in 1969 was Michael Wynne-Jones, who she later married, and in 2003, the duo took over Norwich City. The Canaries had fallen on hard times, and having been invited to invest, they became the team's joint majority shareholders. It has been an eventful 17 years at Carrow Road since then, with 5 promotions, 4 relegations, and 1 half-time speech to the crowd forever enshrined in the memories of British football fans. Norwich's 5th promotion under Delia Smith and Michael Wynne-Jones came last season, but their 5th relegation may immediately follow. The reigning second-tier champions are currently cut adrift at the foot of the Premier League table, and they'll have to make up a 7-point gap between themselves and 17th place Aston Villa if they are to remain in the Premier League. That's it for today's 7. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and obviously make sure you're subscribed to HITC Sevens. Also, if you're watching on mobile, just try tapping your screen now. Apparently that is sometimes required to bring up our little subscribe button and a couple of other videos that YouTube thinks you might enjoy.